morning. Here's what we're here to talk about. So I did a coaching call with an amazing coach and talking about, oh my gosh, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. And his feedback was brilliant. And it was, Dawni, you need to know very deeply and simply what it is that you stand for and what it is that you're offering this planet. So just that. No big deal. Here's the thing. I know the answer to that. I spent some time with it, and there were two things that came up. And these are the two things I've already given my whole entire life to. So luckily I'm on the right track, but it feels really, really good to be able to speak them so clearly. And they go together. Two-parter. Got to put this down. You guys know I can't speak without my hands. And yes, you can see a notebook in the background because I'm going to be using that in a minute. So the first thing that is important for me to teach is the idea that we can live in reality powerfully and deeply and truly engaged with reality as it is without buffering that to our detriment. So Gideon always calls what I do reality therapy. And for those of you who have come to me for one-on-one sessions, you know what he means, right? My whole thing is like, okay, let's pull you back. Let's pull you back into reality. So that's one piece of what I do. The other piece of what I do is what we're going to be talking about today. And it is the idea that every single one of you is uniquely designed for your greatest joy, satisfaction, and purpose on this planet. And that every single aspect of you, and this is why I love archetypes so much, every aspect of you has a shadow and a light. And that it is never about you trying to override or deny the pieces of yourself that are true. Rather about bringing those into the light, into balance, into healthy. Okay? So, it's like full permission and help in coming to engage with reality in a powerful way, and full permission and support in every single human being being the truest and best version of themselves, being totally true to who they are. I do not believe that we choose who we are, at least right now. Maybe we did on some level at some point. But what I do believe is that we choose how true to ourselves we are. And for any of us who have tried to be something we're not, and we've done videos on this, we're pretty epic failures. Whereas if we take a piece of ourselves that's very true and real, and we bring it into the light, into balance, into the healthy piece of it, we thrive. Okay? So that is what we're talking about today, and we're going to go into it with personality traits. So I actually do a retreat where I go into all of the aspects of a person. Their core values, their archetypes, their personality traits, and how to bring them into the light. It's a pretty intense and awesome and very clarifying retreat. And if I get enough requests for it, I will totally do it because it's damn good. All right, but today we're going to talk about personality traits. And obviously, in the Coffee with Dawni video, we can't go into, I have 100 of them written down. It took me basically forever to do this. So many hours put into this. But what I did is, from years of observation and studying and different things, I came up with a personality trait, what it is in the shadow and what it is in the light. Okay? So I'm just going to go into a few so you get the idea of this. But how I want you to be looking at it is, what are my personality traits and what do they look like when they're in the shadow? And instead of trying to change the personality trait, how do I bring that into the light? So I'm going to start with one of my main ones. because this is one I've had as far back as I can remember, and that has been a little bit torturous for me at certain points in my life, but that I feel like I've mostly learned to bring into the light. And that's the personality trait of determined. I am extremely determined when I want something. And sometimes I'll just steamroll. I don't care. When I've been in not such a great place, I've just gone for it no matter who it hurt or no matter what I had to do to get it. So that is that personality trait out of integrity. And there's an element of that when I'm in the shadow of it, of stubborn. Like who are my Tauruses out there? Who are my Tauruses? That's what y'all are known for, right? That's stubborn. And you're like, I'm not stubborn, I'm determined. Well, in the light, that same personality trait becomes driven, right? Stubborn has that aspect of digging your heels in, very rigid, very like, no, I'm not going to listen. Whereas driven is like the same thing, but in a positive way. Like, oh, I'm very, very driven. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do that. So that's one personality trait. How about focused? Another one of mine. We're just going to start with mine because it's my show. It's my coffee with Dawni. I'm going to drink a mocha with whipped cream out of a unicorn and talk about my own personality traits because I can. That's right, mofos, I can. Okay. Anyway, back to me. Just kidding. Be thinking about this with you. Okay, focused. In the shadow, focus can be obsessed. And believe you me, I've lived a lot of my life there. Okay? And it can also lead to mastery. This is my life's work. The work that I do here in Coffee with Dawni, the work I'm doing in Hot Cocoa with Dawni, when I go speak, when I do my retreats, my trainings, this is my mastery, is this work, because I'm focused on it. Okay? What about spontaneous? Not one of mine. This is one of Gideon's, right? Gideon's very spontaneous. Now, when that's out of balance, so let's use balanced and imbalanced, because light and dark is kind of judgy. But if it's out of balance, it can be impulsive. And sometimes that can lead to, I've cause and effect on the brain since I just finished that video for Hot Cocoa with Dawni. And sometimes that impulsiveness can lead to effects that we don't necessarily want, right? Whereas when it is in the balanced, it's flexible. And oh my word, can I just tell you how much I love having a partner that can just go like, hey, yeah, sure, change of plans. Let's roll with it. Thank goodness one of us is like that. Okay, here's an interesting one. Analytical. Who are my Aquariuses? I so stereotype and generalize different personality traits according to sign. But I have to say, I don't know anyone who's an Aquarius who's not analytical. So, analytical is the personality trait, kind of the neutral personality trait. Imbalanced, get this, it can be indecisive. Because you're thinking too much, you're overthinking, and you can't make a decision. But balanced, it's decisive. Because you analyze it quickly, purely, and you make a choice, you make a decision. See? Like, okay, here's one, curious. Who are my Geminis? Geminis and Aries, right? Okay, in the imbalance, that can be invasive. Super nosy, putting your nose in where it doesn't belong, getting into people's private business. Or it can be open, seeking, right? Remember we just did the seeker archetype, you guys. So do you see how any of these personality traits, optimistic can be naive, right? Or it can be hopeful. Calm. This is one of my favorites. Who are my calm people out there? Right? You're calm. Are you boring? Or are you centered? Now, these aren't the only words we could use for these, but this is the concept that no matter what your personality traits are, they can be brought into balance. They can be brought into the light and used in a way that will really work for you. Okay? Because you're not going to go from being a very calm person to being totally opposite of that. You're just going to go, okay, I want to accomplish ABC, and I have a very naturally calm disposition. So I'm going to use that calm disposition in the balance and be very centered. And from that centered place, I'm going to accomplish what I want to accomplish. You see how confident can be arrogant or it can be powerful, right? Intelligent can be pretentious or it can be wise. Empathic, wounded healer, remember, can be self-sacrificing or compassionate. So start looking at this. Start looking at ways that you can take the aspects that you have, bring them into the light, bring them into balance, and use them. Use who you really are. This way we get to let go of the idea that we should be somebody else. Because I look at this, and I actually somewhere, probably not right here, but have written down, what I am. Okay, well, let's see. This isn't me either, but this is one I wish I had. Playful. Well, in the imbalance, that's avoidant, right? But that can also be lighthearted. So, just a place to look, and one more way that this is applicable. In fact, well, first let me tell you, your homework assignment is to write down 7 personality traits you have and to look at the imbalanced and the balanced version of them, okay? If you need help with any of this, you can come see me for a session and have delicious coffee, and I'll even put it in a unicorn cup with whipped cream on it if you want. Here's another way that this is applicable. So, if you're making a decision about whether somebody's personality traits work for you, especially in either a best friend or romantic relationship, a very close relationship, and you're doing the thing, well, this doesn't really work for me now, but maybe they'll change. Here's what you need to understand. Absolutely, people do change. Sometimes. When they really want to. And they do the work. And they're not going to become a totally different person. They're going to become a healthier version of who they already are. So if you look at their personality traits, because honestly, some of these personality traits, they don't really appeal to me to have in a romantic partner, even if they're in the light. They're not that important to me, or they don't really work that well for me. They're not going to have a whole new set of personality traits, you guys. So you've got to look at this. Being true to ourselves, we want to make sure that our closest relationships are with people who we love them for who they are, for who they truly are, that we're not trying to change them into a totally different person. If you want a cat, don't buy a dog and teach it how to meow. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.